I want to touch a bit on that quote from the suttas, the discourses, that says that when past conditioning is released and no fresh one produced, the mind no longer seeks for future birth. The seed consumed, cravings no more arise. Such minded wise ones sees like the flame of this lamp. And that comes as an extra way of explaining certain things relating to karma and ending karma, which has to do with enlightenment. As I mentioned before, and one should understand that at least in Theravada tradition, the ultimate goal is to reach enlightenment, full enlightenment, becoming Arahat, and thus not being reincarnating in any form, any way, any type of existence, any plane of existence. And that's why it talks about not seeking for future birth, in a way that many people still don't seek for future birth, but they still don't understand that they create the whole context to get a future birth, exactly because they don't know how to control their mind enough, and they keep creating karma in the future. And that's what this refers to in the first two lines. The past conditioning is the karma which creates the consequences and the situation you are in right now. And then you don't produce a future one. You know how to remain equanimous, as we talked about. Upekkha. If you have upekkha, equanimity with anything that happens in your life, you don't have any reaction, whether physical or mental, like no emotion. That's how you don't produce any more karma. And that's how you give the opportunity for old one to get released, and through meditation, which is exactly what the practice is about, as a more concrete aspect of meditation, and especially in those Vipassana retreats. And what some people somewhat complain about is whatever comes up. Physical pain is physical pain, it's one thing, but then all the emotional thing and baggage that come up to the surface, exactly when you manage to practice properly, and you will release some things mentally, then still the deeper ones are going to show up. And that's exactly what the process is about, just like a good psychoanalysis. But then some deeper ones that actually people are not really aware of, they can become very disturbing to some. And that's where or when some people have at least a few questions, or get confused, if not freaking out. Even though there's nothing to freak out about, and that's why we still emphasize on equanimity, this is still within you, and it was all the time in your brain. But that's the point of meditation, just as a good psychoanalysis, is to go to the depth and deeper within your psyche, and as a good therapy, bring all these things up, to go to the root of the problem, basically, and actually solve everything like that about you. And as I meant, unfortunately, the therapy side, as far as what they call that science, which is not a real science, also because it's so young, as far as psychotherapy science, and that's why they don't know much. They unfortunately are so limited in a way of trying to make you fit in that sick society. So you just want to become normal, but normal in a sick society. So you don't address all the issues properly, actually, and the deeper ones, the one that have been accumulated through many lives, and that's the point. accumulating all this karma through so many lives. And that's why some people sometimes wonder, why is it even possible to address all that karma and basically release it and get rid of it? Yes, because it depends on what kind of karma it is, and I've explained also before, there is the light one that is very temporary, short time, and not affecting you so much, and there is the deeper one that takes a lot to get rid of, but also those aspects can get released in chunks. Even though you have accumulated karma over billions of trillions of lives or existences in different forms, there is still a way to get rid of big chunks at a time of those sankharas. And that's again the point with the proper meditation practice, and exactly again with equanimity, upekkha. So if one can manage to control a minimum the mind that way, and to accept what comes up just as it is for what it is, and not exactly start to overthink and try to understand and figure out why, where from, what could be the cause of that, why am I feeling like this, blah blah blah. That again comes later naturally, exactly by the proper practice. First of all, it's just that acceptance of that reality of the moment. And again, it's all about upekkha, equanimity, and being neutral, just a neutral witness to whatever arises, mentally or physically. And by doing so, then yes, past conditioning, past karma will get released, then it will give way to older ones again and more, but the point also at the same time is not to create new ones. This is also explained in the right mindset and approach in life, as far as the content of the mind too, which we call the Dhammas also. And it's exactly about, you try to exactly release, get rid of the unwholesome things that you have come up and that you have created in your mind. You try not to create new unwholesome actions or thoughts in your mind, and you try to sustain or create new good ones, good intentions, only the good and positive mindset and intentions and actions. So in that sense, you could say you create only good karma, but the point is to remain equanimous. So you don't have the intention or try too hard something. You just have that nice, positive, equanimous mindset. Then, this way, you get rid of the past, the bad karma, the accumulated karma in any form, and you don't produce new one by having no attachment to that illusory self, me, I. You don't have any big desires, big wishes, and you don't have any more those I like, I don't like, I want, I don't want. Everything is equanimity, and Dhamma will take care of that, your life, and will bring what is needed in your life as usual, because it's karma. I mean, the main law of Dhamma is karma. But then remain equanimous. Equanimity means you don't produce new karma. You just accept things for what they are. Whatever shows up in any way outside of yourself, in your environment, in any form, or within yourself, physically or mentally, again, it's all about equanimity, upekkha. And in that sense, in one way unconsciously, then you are not actually seeking future birth, because you're not attached to that illusory self, me, I. You understand there is no me, no I, and nothing is personal in that sense. Then you're not asking for any future birth. And they put it in a different way, while this seed is consumed like that, you have gone to the root of things, and you have kept releasing them, and there's no more craving anymore for anything. Again, it's equanimity, no more desire, no more craving, no more attachment to anything, no more expectations. Then, which is of course, yes, it's wisdom, having understood our true nature. Then the burning, as I was also, I did that little audio video on burning, explaining when the Buddha talks about everything is burning, everything's in flame, the consumption of that fire within will then lower and lower and lower. Again, there's not much more burning anymore, only the basics to sustain the body until it dies. But you don't have the emotional burning, the consuming of your energy in a bad way, right? Like people know that expression, you get consumed, drained emotionally anymore. Then all that fire within get extinguished. That's what ultimate peace is about too. And when you reach all that together, then you will potentially access enlightenment, or when this truly happens fully, then it's full enlightenment, and then there's no more birth anymore in any kind of existence.